I had nothing but my ambition.
What is the most important thing that's essential for success?
I didn't have anything beside my ambition and a goal that I really want to be successful. That one day I want to be a successful businessman. If you have a dream, keep chasing that dream and do not stop.
What about tax in the UAE?
I have done every job that you can name. I didn't speak good English. It was hard. I was young. New country, I didn't know what to do. And I think when I thought, okay, I need to change my environment, I was very upset that I couldn't accomplish anything.
So challenges, it's mean opportunities.
If you want flour, go back home to your country. I didn't send you to America to work. So that day when it woke me up and I quit that job.
And what about your wife?
The first reason why I moved to Dubai, it was my family. She supported me, not just moral support, she worked with me.
What would you recommend to someone planning to start a business in the UAE or the US?
One of the biggest mistakes I made in the early days, I did not delegate. I want to be in control of everything.
What should they focus on first?
What's the money for if you're not going to enjoy it? I want to invest, let's say, 2 million dirham, 3 million dirham. The guy is not ready. And we say, okay, so what's the next step?
Сәлем достар, бүгін біздің қонақ студиямызға келіп отырған ақш пен Біріккен Араб ұлттарының мемлекетінен келген кәсіпкер келіп отыр. Оның есімі Адам Галли. Бізге бүгін сол кішігірім интервью беріп, подкаст үшін келген Қазақстанға, Астанаға. Hi Adam, how are you?
Good, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. We too. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And can you tell us a bit about your professional journey?
Sure.
How did you get to where are you now?
So before I talk about my professional journey, I want to talk about what got me to the professional journey before that. So basically, I was born in 1978. I was born in Syria. From 1978, I grew up to 1996, 1997. I grew up just like any normal kid. In 1996 and 1995, when I was 16 years old, I used to work in my dad's pastry shop. And that's when I start having the businessman mentality. And I start thinking I want to own my business. My first trial was in 1995. I decided to run out of my parents' house because I had a fight with my father.
Oh, really?
And I went to Damascus and I lived by myself in a hotel, in a motel with sharing rooms. And I thought that I can do it on my own as 16 years old. I stayed there for 2 weeks. I worked in a pastry shop for about, I think it was about 10 days, and I came back home. Then in 1996, my first trip was to France, to Paris. Same reason, I went just to discover the other side of the world. And when I went there, I went to Paris. I worked in Paris in a small bakery shop for about a week. Then I went from Paris to a city south of France called Orange. I worked there for about a week. It was very hard to build anything in Europe.
Oh, really?
And I went back to Syria again. And I was 18. When I was 18, my ambitious and my dreams was always, I want to go to the United States. Part of the reason my uncles used to live there. And I always wanted to go. It's the land of opportunities. And I always wanted to go there. So I traveled in 1997 to US. I had nothing but my ambition to, planning. I didn't have anything beside my ambition and a goal that I really want to be successful. And I can tell you, talking about business from back then, I knew that one day I want to be a successful businessman. That's why I say, if you have a dream, keep chasing that dream and do not stop.
And follow.
So that's how it started. In 1997, I had nothing but my ambition to really chase my dream. From 1997 to 2000 was one of the toughest period I had. I didn't speak good English. It was hard. I was young. new country. I didn't know what to do. I have done every job that you can name. And I kept changing one job to another, thinking that, okay, I'm going to find another job. I'm going to find a better job. So that's how I started the actual business journey is in 1997. I went to school. When I was in school, I was in college. I felt it's not for me. We used to finish classes and all the students used to go and just play and hang out in other people's houses. I felt it was just a waste of time, that I'm wasting so much time.
Oh, really?
And then I was looking at other people where they are productive and they are doing something in their lives while I was just reading a book. So I felt, okay, I can still read. And until this day, I read a lot. But I don't need to go to school to do it.
For me, it's like impossible.
Yeah. So 1997 to 2000, in year 2000, I think I had semi-depression. I was very upset that I couldn't accomplish anything because I had a feeling that I can do something. And at mid-2000, I think, when I thought, okay, I need to change my environment. I need to change where I'm in because I have tried everything and it seems like it's just not the right environment for me. So in 2000, I moved from New Jersey to Virginia. And that's when I really started my career, where things start changing for me. I started the first job I held, because I want to own a business, I held a job at Domino's Pizza. They had a program back then that if you work on the 4 level, they call it MIT. MIT 1, MIT 2, MIT 3, MIT 4. At MIT 4 back then, they will give you your own Domino's Pizza store and you become semi-partner and a manager. So you get share of the profit. So that was my goal. I'm like, okay, I can own something. And it's a step for me to go to the next level. What happened, I think it was mid-2000, my father came to Virginia and he came to visit me. And one day he came out with his friend. They want to pick me up. And it was past 12 o'clock midnight and I was working. I had an apron on. I had flour all over me. I was a mess. Tired. I was working about 14 hours shift.
Oh.
My dad, I still remember, he comes in. He looks at me at the door. I go outside. And he didn't say anything. He just walked away. So I didn't know what to say. The next day, my father goes and my father came from a pastry and we use flour and eggs to make the cake. So I grew up around flour and eggs and any ingredients has to do with the pastry shop. He goes, if you want flour, go back home to your country. I didn't send you to America to work like this. So that day when it woke me up and I quit that job. And I'm like, I have to find a good career for myself.
Nice.
So I started the car business back in 2000. I started on the side on my own, cleaning cars, selling cars. Then I worked at a dealership and I worked my way up from there.
Good stories. Attractive. Next question. Why did you decide to move from the US to the UAE? And how difference you see in how business is done in these two countries?
In terms of business, okay. So the reason why I moved, and it was a hard move, it wasn't an easy move. I tell people, the more you have, the harder it is for you to make a move. So my situation before I moved, it was good. I have a good business. I still have it. We have a beautiful house. We have a great neighborhood. So we're living really good. The first reason why I moved to Dubai, it was my family. Better family value, better social life in Dubai, closer to our culture. And beside that, it's much safer. I did not feel safe about my kids, and I have 4 children. I did not feel safe to send them anywhere. it's just not a safe place. And in the last few years too, more crime happening, more shooting in the school. Every other state, a kid has a gun and he goes out and shoots other kids. Bomb threat. We had it in my daughter's school. One day she called me about 3 p.m. They called us from the school, and they were in a baseball field locked up outside the school because of a bomb threat. And they had the SWAT team, canine dogs, police all over the place. So that was a big worry for me. And then right after that, she had a friend of hers in school. She hung herself in the garage because she had a depression. So I felt I'm raising my kids in an environment, it's just not good for them. So that's reason number one. The second reason why I moved, Dubai is an international hub.
Yeah.
And it's a hub for innovation and business.
Yes, it's true.
And having an easy access to the international market. So that's really one of the main reasons why, in terms of business, I saw the opportunity. I saw that, okay, there's a lot I can do in Dubai. It's easy access to everywhere. It's closer than the U.S. I can travel easier to anywhere. Here I am today. If I live in the U.S., there's no way I would have made it to Astana, for example, because it's too far away.
Yeah.
In Dubai, 4 hours I was here. It was easy travel.
Yeah.
Business-wise, the main difference, I think, between the U.S. market and the UAE market, UAE became faster market and rapidly growing in comparison to USA. Beside that, UAE, they still live on the relationship and face-to-face and a handshake, which is very strong.
More than US.
So you build a very good relationship with the surrounding when you're a business person. Not just that. Once you build that strong name and a strong business relationship, the sky is the limit. You can do a lot more than just one transaction. In US, it's really strictly transactional base. Based on the transaction is done. Really, there's no tie to anybody anymore. And that's why if I look at my business in the past 10 years in the US, what made other vendors successful with us, to be honest with you, because they showed up and they took it a little bit further than just a transaction where we served them, they served us, and they were there for us. They helped us. Nowadays, you sign a contract with somebody, you're finished. They don't want to see you. They don't want to talk to you. The transaction is done. So that's how it is in the U.S. Transaction is done. Okay, goodbye.
Yeah.
So that's really the main difference. I see bigger potential for the future.
More than
in
US.
this region. And even look at Astana. Take a look at all of the buildings out there, all of the infrastructure, all of the new development. We were driving yesterday, so I didn't expect it to be that advanced and that beautiful. And I can tell, being in the real estate and being in construction and renovation, I can right away read the year of the building, when it's built, based on the infrastructure, based on the facade, based on the type of material they use. So this region is really promising when it comes to business. And I think it has a great future. Look at Europe. Look at UK. Economy's bad. People are complaining because of taxes. Look at Canada. I mean, they cannot keep it together. Now they're thinking about combining Canada with the US. So there's not a lot when it comes to the future. There's no big light or strong light at the end of that tunnel. Versus here, you see there's a lot of things happening.
What about tax in the UAE?
Taxes in UAE, they low. You are looking only at a
they low than
much lower. I'll tell you, U.S. and other countries. So there's sales tax when you buy something, which is sales tax in UAE 5%. In U.S. too, it ranges from about 4% to up to about 8 and 9% or more in some state. That's not a big deal. But income tax, which is a big deal. In UAE, if you make $100,000, those $100,000, you take it home. There's no income tax. In US, on $100,000, you are paying a minimum of about 40%. In other countries in Europe and Canada, you're paying about 60%.
Oh.
So if you make $10,000 a month, you only taking home on an average about $5,000. It's a big difference.
Yeah,
Not just that, as an employer, we pay taxes on the employee.
Yeah.
We don't just pay corporate tax. So in UAE now, the corporate tax they applied just new, it's 9% on the net profit of whatever income that corporate makes. However, in UAE, there's no taxes on the employee. There's no federal tax, state tax, social security tax. We pay all of that. We pay federal tax, social security tax, all kind of taxes. So when it's all said and done, I'm sharing my income with the government. So I'm taking 60%. I'm giving the government 40%, which is a lot of money. Now, if you look at it, in UAE, you're paying 9% only. And if you are an employee, you're trying to find a good job, or you are an executive, let's look at a lot of people who's moving from UK, from Europe. Why are they moving to Dubai?
Yeah.
It's a tax haven.
Oh.
They look at it, okay, I can make maybe less money, but I'm paying no taxes. I'm paying, if I take $10,000 home, I'm taking $10,000 to my house. I'm not paying 4,000 out of the 10.
Yeah.
So that's the taxes.
Okay, thank you. Next question. In your opinion, what is the most important thing that's essential for success in business?
In business, I think a lot of business owners neglect the fact that customers are so important. Meaning, if you are in a business from B2C or B2B or business to government even, at the bottom line, the person who's using the product, whether it's an AI product, whether it's a mic or a paper, is a human being. And if you care enough about solving that human being problem and cater to them, you will be able to run a successful business. Taking care of the customers with having a good business plan and consistency. Many business owners, they put a great business plan. However, they start that business plan and there's no consistency to it. Or they have a great business plan and they never apply it the way how it is on paper. So execution is very important when it comes to how I'm going to run my business. But if you ask me, I'll say the customer. What made me successful back in the days, especially in the early days in 2010, 2011, 2012, I had to really understand what are the customer's needs and what is
really
their problem.
understand.
You have to read, you have to profile. Okay, so how did I do it? Let's say I was digging into every customer's that come into the office. I was sitting down myself with them, asking them, number one, how they heard about us, why they came here. Because when it comes to automotive in US, there's so many options. If they want a red car, there's 1,000 red cars between our dealership and their house. Why they came to us.
Yeah.
So I used to find out what is it. And many people, let's say we used to cater to a certain clientele. And we used to carry a certain type of cars. So for me, it took me a while to understand my own market, to see, okay, my market, my region, anything under $21,000 as a vehicle, it sells very fast. So I had a policy for about almost 5 years. No vehicle will be bought. If it's over $21,000, we do not buy it. Because I knew my market, I knew my people, my customer, my community, looking for less of a cost vehicle, understanding what's their income, what is the issue they are facing. So when they buy a cheap vehicle, let's say, the biggest issue they were facing, they buy a vehicle that has a lot of problem. So I start targeting the cars that really nice, really clean, with low miles. So they will have a car that's just not going to break. And then they're going to tell each other. So you find that out by really digging into the market. If you put a business plan and say, okay, now I'm going to start this business in Astana. Okay, great. You have a great business plan and you have a great idea. Have you really tested the market? Have you really went out on the street and asked people that if I have this product, would you buy it? And if they said yes, why would they buy it? Because if that person is buying it, I want someone else to buy it too. I want to understand their thinking. So understanding the client is super important, because at the bottom line, no matter what we do, we're doing the podcast right now, it's for other people to watch it.
Yeah.
So the end user is a human being. So no matter how much technology and AI we're going to have, the human is the end user.
Yeah, totally agree. Because I am in China and I know about human resources, and totally agree. And Adam, tell me what challenges have you faced in your career, and how did you overcome them?
I faced obviously tons of challenge. In the early day, the challenge was harder. It used to be painful, because you take it, when a problem happened as a challenge in business, you take it seriously. If it's money, you're like, oh my God, I lost $5,000. I'm devastated. It took me a long time to make that money. And then you face other challenges by you not seeded enough in the business. You're not expert enough yet. I thought I am, but I wasn't, because I didn't carry years of experience. And that's why it's very important to carry many years of experience, because you become so good at what you do. Your eyes become like a laser. You can read things very quick. And then later on, the challenge does not look like a challenge anymore. I think I used to say you become immune, like you're taking a shot every year. You become so immune to the issue and the problem, it become part of the business. So how you overcome it, I mention my father all the time, by the way, because he is one of the main reason of my success.
Oh, really?
And one day he was in my office in the US, and we were busy. We had a lot of customers. And then that specific day, we had many issues. Customers complaining. One guy's car was broken down. And it was just, we call it in the US a beef day. Like you're fighting with people and many problems in one day. And he comes in, and I'm sitting at my office, and he goes, what's wrong, son? And I'm just frustrated. I'm turning red. My veins are popping. I said to him, Pop, we're having a lot of problems. This. He looks at me and smiled. And he said, you should be happy.
Oh.
I said to him, why? He said, if you have problems, that means you have business. If you don't have problems, you got a problem. That means you don't have any business. So I carried that, and I'm like, he's right. He's 100% right. I have problems because the prior week and the week before, we were very busy doing business and selling cars and doing service. So one of the week it carried out, some customer came in the same time complaining an issue. So I say, take the challenge as part of the business. Don't take it as, it's a challenge and think about it, take a step back and think about that challenge and say, okay, I have this challenge now. How can I overcome it? And you will be able to come up with the solution, because no solution is going to come out of frustration. When you're angry and upset, if you come up with the solution, that solution is not going to be the right solution for it. So just take it as, you know what? I own a business. I'm going to have problems anyway.
A lot of problems.
Yeah. And you're a business owner, there's always an issue. People look at you and say, oh, you're a business owner. You're lucky.
Yeah.
You're lucky maybe because you're not working for someone else. But if you're thinking that owning a business, you're not going to be working, you're completely mistaken. You are going to be working a lot more than an employee. If you're looking for what they call life and life balance and work, and you're going to work less hours, that's not going to happen. You are working more hours. You are every title in a business. You could be one day a manager, another day you could be a receptionist, another day it's your business. When it needs an SOS, it's an emergency, you need to get involved. You cannot walk away. When your employee walking away, guess what? You're staying because you have to take care of that problem. You have to take care of your baby.
So challenges, it's mean opportunities for your
Challenge
business.
is an opportunity. I tell you what, that challenge, it's a challenge today. At a later down the line, it's not a challenge anymore. You become an expert at that challenge.
Yeah.
And if you did it right, you become a pro, and you become much better than your competitor, because now your competitor looking at it as a challenge, you solve that issue. No matter what are you doing, if you're in the HR business or in a baking business or pastry business, now you have a recipe that it's going to work for you while your competitor thinking about how to solve it.
Thank you. One interesting question. Entrepreneurs are often risk takers. And can you share a time when you took a big risk, and was it worth it?
Okay. A big risk in my life. I talked about that just a few weeks ago, that most of my life was a gamble, because you have to take the risk. If you don't take the risk, there is no opportunity. Everyone gets the opportunity to do something in life. The difference between the entrepreneur and someone else, I took the opportunity. Someone else was scared. So you have to take the risk in business. You have to gamble. You have to somehow be scared, but not scared enough. You have to take the steps. I have too many risks that I have took throughout my life, from changing jobs in my career to opening a new business. To I can tell you, when I started A1 Auto Sales, I went and I took a risk, and I opened an A1. We called it A2 Auto Sales. And when I did that, everybody was telling me, why you're doing that? Why didn't you build the first one first? So what I did, I opened the first dealership. Then I opened the second one, because that was not enough. And I'm the only one who knows how big is that risk. So when people look at it, most of the time they see it, maybe it's a big risk. I know the inside of that risk. So did I take a risk by opening a second store? Of course, because they were very close to each other. But we shared the inventory. Then I took a third place. And then what I did, I closed one of them, and then I kept one. Then I technically combined the number one and number two to number three to a much bigger place. But if I didn't do that at the beginning, taking the risk of opening the first one in the first place was a risk. It was about an hour and a half from where I used to live. So when I moved there, even including my wife, when we went there the first time, she looked at me and she was like, "You gonna have us move here?" Because it was out in the country, away from the malls, away from the shopping center, away from everything. It almost had nothing at that time in 2010. And my wife goes, of course, as usual, she supported me, and she goes, "If that's what you want to do, if you think that's a good decision, let's do it." But it was a risk, because I moved out of an area that I know in and out, and I know everything about it, but I moved there for a reason, because I saw the opportunity. So you have to take the risk. And the risk of scaling, that's a risk when you scale. Many business owners, they don't calculate enough when it comes to, they scale too fast and they fail too fast. In order to scale, you have to scale right. You have to make sure your foundation are set up 1,000,000% correct before you scale the business. It's exactly when you build a building, before they build the building, they work on the foundation. This microphone right now, it sits on the foundation right here. Anything that you have, it sits on the foundation. My watch on my wrist, it has a foundation to hold it. Everything has a foundation. So to scale and make it bigger, you have to make sure your foundation is correct. Your team is ready for the scaling, for a bigger bite, for more business. So how can I invite people? Put it this way. An analogy that I use all the time, if you're inviting people over your house, you have to be ready. You have to be ready to have chairs for them, to have a place to sit, and to cater to them and give them food. You do not invite people over your house, and you invite 20 people, let's say, and you have food enough for 5 only. So you have to be prepared. And that's basically scaling. Prepare first, and then scale the business. Or from the beginning, when you build the business, one of the expertise that I work on all the time, and I do. I build a business based on 10 years from now. So I just told one of my managers the other day, I said to him, what I'm building now in Dubai, it's exactly what I have built back in 2010. I didn't build the business back in 2010 based on 2010, 2011. I built it based on 2024, 2022. What made me be in Dubai and be in Astana today, and my business still running in US, and I'm still generating revenue and making money, is the way how I built the business back in the days. I built it to scale it. That's a really important key in business.
So it means that entrepreneurs are very brave
They
person.
Have to be brave.
And you are 44 years old, yeah?
46.
46.
I'm 46.
Okay. And what about your wife? Tell a little bit about your wife.
My wife, we got married back in 2007. She took the journey with me. She was with me in every step of the way. She supported me, not just moral support. She worked with me. She used to go to work every single day. She's not doing it now because we have kids, and she is entitled to relax. She is entitled to really enjoy our kids and spend time with our kids. And what we did back in the days, we did it to be comfortable now, not to work again. And that's why when I look at people and they see they are working all of their lives, I'm like, why are you working? What's the money for if you're not going to enjoy it?
Yeah.
Are you going to just save it in the bank? You don't see your kids. You don't see your family. Family is an important value for me. My relationship with my family, my relationship with God is this is number one. God, my family, and then my business. My wife was a big part of it. She helped. She was there. She used to, and I can tell you many days in the early days in business where I used to live in Alexandria. My business was in Winchester, Virginia. I used to travel about an hour and a half one way. So 3 hours a day just driving, just to get to work. And sometimes I used to stay late, and I used to sleep at work or sleep at the hotel, a closed hotel, because I don't want to go home and then come back the next day. So it wasn't easy. I can tell you there are many stories that I have, even my close friends and relatives don't even know. In many occasions, the reason why I'm telling you this, where I left home at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock because I have to stay with the kids, because my wife's still at work and she came back at 10 o'clock and she was there at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. So she was working for 12 or 14 hours a day. So having a person that supports you, whether a wife or a partner or whoever it is, it will make you more successful. It will push you. It will help you. And then two heads always better than one. Consulting together, but not mixing work with our relationship. So if we had an issue, and just like any business partner or any business, we're going to have an issue. Don't mix it in your household.
Yeah.
So everything stays outside the house. Inside the house, it's a house and a family, wife and kids, cooking and eating, watching a movie. That's it. I mean, we still talk sometimes about business, but we talk about let's say a story that happened in the business.
Story.
Yeah, okay, I had a customer today. Here's what happened. What happened today with you? This is what happened. So telling each other stories, just like when you tell your friend a story about somebody or someone at work.
Nice, cool. Thank you. Adam, what are some risks that entrepreneurs often underestimate? About risk again, please.
Yeah, so that's the one I missed. So risk, obviously, is what I talked about before. The risk that they underestimate is scaling the business. That's number one. They scale the business too fast. And the other risk they underestimate is having the right team. The team is what makes you scale before even scaling. If you do not have the right team in place and you do not delegate, one of the biggest mistakes I made in the early days, I did not delegate. I want to be in control of everything. I want to do everything because I didn't trust anybody. because it's my business and I'm building the business. I did not trust anyone to the level where when we used to send contracts to the bank and they used to put them in a FedEx envelope, they weren't allowed to close the FedEx. I have to close it. I have to look at the contract. I have to make sure it's signed in the right place before we send it. Was I micromanaging? Kind of, yes. But that was a mistake. It was okay when I was small, but it's not okay when you want to get bigger. You cannot be everywhere. So you have to delegate to your team. You have to make sure you have the right team. Beside that, your team has to believe in you. Because otherwise, there's a job everywhere. Money, you pay him $1,000 or $2,000, someone else is paying him $1,200 or $2,200. But if the team believe in you and believe in the vision or the company you are building, and you're doing it together, and they know they will be somewhere one day, they will be with you for life. Because it's not just about the money, it's about a career. It's about, okay, if I need something, this guy will take care of me. If I want to grow, I know I can grow in this company. Especially nowadays, Gen Z, they honestly, we've done a lot of research. They don't care about the money. It's not like my generation. My generation was money, 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 money.
Yeah.
Gen Z now, they want a happy environment. They want a chilled environment. They want a relaxed environment. And you cannot blame them because they look at it, okay, I can go home and be on social media and make the same amount of money. You don't pay me enough. I can go and work on Uber, taxi, delivering food, and make the same amount of money. Not everybody wants a career. Some people, they just want a job, and they want to be happy at that job. So how you can satisfy someone like this where it's not about the money for them? But if you build a happy environment and a team that believe in you and believe in your vision, and they having fun while they're working. This is now, if you talk to all of the new generation, the young generation, they want to have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's what they want to do. And the bottom line, it is what it is. You just have to hire based on that, and you have to change the environment based on that.
Yeah. So it's not about total control, but it's about checking every process in your company.
Yes. So the process in the business is one of the main key points when it comes to scaling the business or building the business. You have to have a processes. So you delegate to your staff, but before you delegate to them, you have to have a right process in place so they follow. So if I want to delegate to you something, I have to give you the guideline of what do you need to do if this happened or that happened, or what is your job role today? What are you responsible for? So here is the process of what do you need to do on a daily basis or during the day, every week, every month. Once I delegate to you, I have to have the right process in place. So process comes first. The team, obviously, you have to hire the right team. You have to build processes for each team. You delegate for the team. And then the scaling comes after that. Where the big risk they take or they underestimate is, okay, I can scale the business now. We're making money. What happened? The business started getting big. You getting customer. Okay, great. I'm making money. Let's open another store. Okay, great. That's a great idea. But now you lost control of both stores because you don't have the right team in place. You open a second location, you're relying on the team from the first location. I've seen it many times. You're taking a team from the first location to the second location. Now your first location that was doing excellent is not doing good. The income is less. The operation is not as good. So what good are you doing if you're minimizing the income on the first place, and then you getting some income on the second place? You're still making the same amount of money. The purpose of that second place is to make more money, obviously, not just, okay, I opened the second place and now I have to worry about two places without making more income for yourself.
Yes, totally agree with you. You do same like me, or I am do same like you. And I think this is the most biggest mistake. What advice would you give to your younger self? And if you could change something, what would it be? Yeah.
If I want to advise myself or my son or anybody who wants to build a business, without going in many advices and many details, because there's a lot of advices out there. There's so many things. But one of the things that I did not do, and I did at a later in my career or my job or my business, is building the network and building a network that's close to you. My advice that treat people good all the time. Do not cut tie and burn bridges with anybody. Always talk to people. And if they hurt you for some reason, you don't have to hurt them back. Because if they hurt you with the word or something, do not build a bad reputation because this person treat me bad. Obviously, he's not a good person. And if I fight back with him, now he's going to talk bad about me. That good person is going to think I'm a bad person as well. So my advice to really treat people the way how you want it to be treated. Be nice to people. Being nice goes a long way. A smile goes a long way. Your network is your net worth. The more people you have around you, the better you will do when you have a business. So again, rely on people, rely on human. We are human. Build this network. I can tell you the people that are close to me right now, we're very close. We talk every day. We advise each other every day. I can tell you if I call one of them today and I say, listen, I need your help. I need you to travel to Astana. He will be here tonight or tomorrow. With no question asked.
Yeah.
Just by the word, I need you and I need you to come. And it happened before where I needed people. It happened before where I was actually a guy without naming names in my business. When I first got Mitsubishi franchise, we had an issue with the bank. The bank froze our money. And it was the amount, it was about $300,000 or so. And there was a guy I used to deal with. He's a wholesaler. Walked in. And of course, I treated this guy so good, and he's older than me, and he used to call me all the time, son, hey, son, how are you, son? And he saw me upset. He said, what's wrong? And I told him the story. He said, how much you need? I said, no, I can't. He said, how much do you need? I said to him, the money is all over $300,000. It's not 1,000 or 2. It's a lot of money. He said, son, not a problem. I know you're good for it. Oh. So he goes to the bank. He wired the money to me. Before he goes, though, I said to him, listen, I do not want to take your money. If something happened to me, how is it I'm going to pay you back? So what we did, we have title, the owner, the title for the car, which is proof of ownership under the dealership. So we had many used cars there. I gave him a value of titles that value about $300,000. And he said, no, I don't want it. I said, no, you have to take it. If something happened to me tomorrow, how is it you're going to take your money? No one knows what we just did. And we don't even have the time to write paper and sign and do a contract. And he doesn't want to do any contract. So he goes out to the bank, to Wells Fargo, wire the money to me. I pay the franchise. It was a franchise issue, and frozen the money in the bank, and everything was fine. 2 days later, my money was released, and I pay him the money. I'll never forget that. But why did he do it? Because I was good to him. I was honest with him. I paid him on time. I never cheated the guy. And this is the kind of relationship, if I tell you what made me successful in business is my name. Nothing else. Yes, I work hard. Yes, I work a lot of hours. Yes, I did build a business. I did this. But without my reputation, all of that worth nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because my reputation what got me there. When I worked when I did exporting cars, for example, I used to have money come into my account all the time for people to buy cars. No bill of sales, no papers, nothing. It was trust. Oh. I know him. I trust him. He's good. And they used to ask. So if someone knew, So he calls you, say, hey, I'm dealing with Adam Galli. What do you think? Should I do the And the answer was always, do it. If you want to make money, do it. That's another thing. People around me always made money. Because I shared the money. I never looked at it, I'm greedy, I have to make all of the money and then just give you a little bit. No, I want to make money and I want everybody around me to make money. So when you build that, people want to deal with you because not a lot of people that way. I know my money's safe and I can make money with you. Why would I deal with someone else?
So the main, it's networking and your name.
Yeah, your name, networking, be good to people. Understand that at the bottom line, no matter where you go, up, down, in the middle, you're going to be dealing with people.
What advice would you give to your younger self at the start of your journey?
Okay. And few more things I want to add too. When you have a feeling of a business or an idea, don't listen to others and make sure you really follow. And when God show you an opportunity, take that opportunity. All of us gets an opportunity in life. The difference between a successful person and not successful person is that person took that opportunity. Most people are afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of failure. Embrace the failure. Make sure that you take it. It's okay to fail because that's what's going to make you strong. What made me strong when I was young is pretty much all of the failures that I had. And now I'm thankful to every failure that happened to me.
So you must believe in yourself.
You have to believe in yourself.
And intuition.
Strongly believe in yourself. I can tell you most of the ideas that I didn't do because of other people. Because no matter what you say, you have the naysayer, the one who's going to tell you, no, it's not going to work, it's not going to happen. And you start doubting yourself. You go from a stage where I believe in myself to a stage, no, I think it's not a good idea. My best friend said not to do it, or not a good idea, or you're not going to make money, or it's not going to work. I can tell you endless example. Where no matter what I say, and sometimes I'm having a normal conversation with someone, and it just happened in Dubai about opening a bank account for my real estate company. The answer I got right away from somebody, no one's going to open a bank account for you because they stopped opening a bank account for a real estate company. And he was online. So I contacted the bank, that specific bank, and the actual rep told me, no, we don't do it. I said to him, do me a favor. I'm going to apply. Take my application. You never know. And I did it, and they opened the bank account for me. So never take no as an answer. I teach that to my kids all the time. When you hear no, you're one step closer to the yes. Always. The more no you hear, you're a step closer to another yes. So never take no as an answer. And my kids at this age, 16, 14, and 5, they negotiate all the time. You tell them no, try it. When you meet my kids and you say, tell them no about something, they battle right away. They want to negotiate. They want to ask why. They want to try to get something. And that's life. You're not going to be going out there, whether meeting clients or an employee, it doesn't matter what it is, and someone's going to tell you yes, yes, yes on everything. That's really rare to find.
I think it's a very important advice. Please tell me, what would you recommend to someone planning to start a business in the UAE or the US? And what should they focus on first?
I think the business idea is first, because you have to analyze, is the business I'm going to open or the idea I want to do, is it more suitable for the US market or for the UAE market? And if it is for the US market, are you ready to do it in US? How much money is going to cost you? Because some business will cost less in US, not more, and vice versa. So it really depends on the business. You have to analyze at the beginning of what is it I'm doing, and am I ready for it to do it in that country? So if I say, okay, great idea, do it in Dubai. Are you ready to go to Dubai? Are you ready to move? Because I see a lot of people, they want to open a business. They want to do a business in Dubai. They travel to Dubai. I met with them. We're working on some investments now. And I see people flying in and they sit down and they pitch their investment. And we somehow give them a green light, or let's say an orange light, okay, that we want to continue. They back off.
Why?
They're not ready. So they thought about the business idea and they want to do a startup, but the guy's not ready to leave his country. So why are you in Dubai then? I mean, if you're not ready...
They want just money.
No, not just they want money. The expectation in general. Oh, I'm going to pitch the idea, but most likely they're going to say no. So the mindset, I talk about the mindset, make sure you have the right mindset. It's very important to have the right mindset. So they approach you and they want to do this. And now you have an investor and say, okay, I want to invest, let's say 2 million dirham, 3 million dirham, or whatever the amount may be. The guy is not ready. And we say, okay, so what's the next step? Oh, well, I have to go back home and see when I'm going to move. And then they fly back and disappear. So if you have something, be prepared. That's okay. If someone told you yes, as an investor, or you want to invest yourself, are you willing to take the flight tomorrow? Otherwise, don't do it. You will be fooled to do any kind of business or try something you're not ready to make the move. Because no matter what business plan, what do you have, it has no value. But if you are ready to make a move, the successful entrepreneur that takes a risk, if you tell him right now, okay, you need to move today, he's going to be, okay, do you have a flight coming today? That's the mentality of, if you're not that, that's why not everybody can do it. You have to be ready and prepared. That's okay. I want to make the move. Yes, I have no problem. But what about your wife? I will talk to my wife. What about your kids? I'll find a solution. And I'm not saying be reckless, but be ready to do it. Most people talk only. They just talk,
words, yeah.
No action. Everybody is very good at talking. They sit down, I'm doing this, I want to, and they talk about vessel and shipment and millions of dollars. And then they don't have the money for a pack of cigarette. I've seen that a lot. They talk about millions of dollars and they have no food at their house and no money to support their family. So here's the dreams all the way up there, and I don't even have a car. And then you finish the conversation. Can you drop me off? I sold my car. You don't have a car at the house? No. How are you commuting? Oh, my wife taking a taxi and I'm taking a taxi. You were just inside telling me about the millions. It's all fake.
So fake. I think you meet a lot peoples like this.
Yeah.
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 Trust people, but check.
It's very hard to trust people, to be honest with you. I've seen all kind of people. That's why I'm very careful with people. And once you find the right people, hang to them. Make sure they're close to you. Very hard to find good people nowadays. Most people lie their way around. Instead of working their way around, they tell you, okay, work your way around. They lie their way around. You find out everything is fake, especially now on social media and things. They go rent a car, they show you a Lambo and show you a watch. Everything is rental, everything is fake from the bazaar in Istanbul. It's just fake stuff. There's a lot of fake. And now you have the young generation, the 19 years old and 20 years old, sitting at home and scrolling on Instagram and seeing all of this Lamborghini and all of the money. It's depressing. Not knowing it's not real. So even in Dubai, there's a lot of people that they rent the car, they do this, and they show off. No money.
Yeah, I understand what about. And where is, in your opinion, in the US or in the UAE, a lot of fake peoples?
I think they exist everywhere. For example, in LA, Los Angeles, Miami, there's a lot of that. Dubai being small, it's easy to spot that because the country UAE is small, it's not that big, and it's becoming a hub and becoming where, okay, there's a lot of people that truly rich and they do have money And you have people that showing they have money to get, you have people that, let's say on Instagram, they buy followers, they do fake watches, fake cars, fake this. And then what they do, they go to a business and they approach a business that's, okay, I have 500,000 followers that I'm going to promote your business. You pay me $10,000. But they have nothing. And there are many businesses now, they are falling into that trap of, oh, I hired an influencer and that person is not, everything is fake. Even the followers they have, they are fake. I even get on my Instagram, people DM me all the time and they have 300 million followers, 1.5 million followers. And they DM me to basically increase my follower and buy followers for $200 and $150. I look at it, you're driving a Lamborghini, you're showing people that you have diamonds and you're flying on a private jet and you're asking me for $200, $200. If you're really rich, you're not going to knock on people's door for $200.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Yeah. Okay. Our next question. It's beyond the paperwork and formalities. What market nuances, tricks, or approaches should someone know to successfully grow a business in the UAE or the US?
In UAE or US,
it's very interesting.
There are no tricks. There's no trick to owning a business. There's no trick to establish a business. I can tell you, whether in UAE or US, it's easy. Dubai made it very easy to start a business. You can have a license, you can have everything, and we do that in less than 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks, you can establish a company, establish a bank account, establish a website, all of that, establish an existing contract. I mean, everything. But I had the same question before, and I told the person, okay, you want to open a business? Here's the key for the store. Here's the license. Here's a bank account. Here's a website. Here are some business cards. What's next? To a formality in the paperwork is nothing. That's easy. What are you going to do? What is your mindset? So the only secret is your mindset. That's the only secret. Who you are as a business owner, who you want to become. If you look at any investor, or let's say the show Shark Tank, they invest into the person first, not the business idea. Because you could have the greatest business idea and you are doing really good, but you're not the right person I can invest with. At one point or another, that partnership or that JV, the joint venture, is not going to work because we're not the right fit. But if we are the right fit and we are the right partner, and even if we broke off at one day, we are okay because our fundamental value align together and we can do something together. But if you have the right business idea, you're not the right person. So the right mindset, if you want to open a business and start a business, for anybody out there who wants to open a business, have the right mindset first. Manifest and assume that you own a business because you thought about opening a business, but you didn't think about the other steps. What are you going to do? Because I've seen it. They open and then they stop. Why? They haven't thought beyond the formality that you're talking about. Formality is not a big deal because I get the question all the time. I want to open a business in Dubai. I want to open a business in US, in Virginia, in Washington. What should I do? Okay, you don't have to do anything. There are companies will do all of that for you. What are you going to do? If you have the business and you have the license and you have everything, are you ready to move like we talked about? Are you ready to start the business? Do you have enough money? Because many people think that I'm going to open a business and I'm going to have money coming in. No, you're not going to have any money coming in. That comes later down the line. And then they close because they don't have money coming in. Or I said it before that you have a great business idea, you have a great business, but you have bad management management is
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah.
Because the greatest business and you have a lot of money and bad management in the business, guess what? The idea is gone, the money is gone.
Yeah. Yes, management is very important. Is there anything in your professional life you regret? And if you could change something, what would it be?
I honestly wouldn't change anything.
Really?
I'm number one happy with what I have, and I thank God every day. Happiness starts within the person. No matter what you have, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you could be on the heaven, on the moon, on Mars. If you're not happy on the inside, nothing's going to make you happy.
Yeah.
And I don't regret anything because what I have done, even if it was the wrong decision and it was bad, I have learned something from it.
Yeah.
Any bad decision that I took in my life, I have learned something from it. It made me stronger. It made me smarter. It made me who I am today because of that bad decision. I regret things I didn't do. I don't regret anything that I have done. I only regret things that I did not do in my life that I should have done. I should have been on social media before. I should have been not so busy at work. Back a few years back, I'm a ghost. I didn't exist anywhere because I was so busy working. Even when people came to my business and asked where the business owner, I used to tell them the business owner in China.
Oh.
He's not here. I'm not a business owner. I don't want to see anybody. I was just busy building the business. I think that's a mistake I made. I should have been out there more. Even though I build a network, I talk to people, but not directly in the business.
Okay, thank you. And what keeps you inspired to keep going when things get tough?
When it get tough.
Yeah.
Of course, every person will have tough days. I think my inspiration comes from my family. I have a lot of people that I want to please in my life. I want them to be happy, whether immediate family or even friend. And if not the family, on the business side of it, I feel I have a mission in this life to transfer my knowledge to other people. And there's nothing in this life that will make me more satisfied and happier than even seeing someone successful that I have nothing to do with it. But if I have something to do with it and that person is successful, it makes me very happy. It will make me very happy. So that inspiration, and I got the question one day when my neighbor, I still remember Brian Weber told me, he sat down with me and he said, "What makes you go to work every day and not complain?" I said, when I wake up in the morning, I never thought I'm going to work. And I never thought about it this way. I said to him, to be honest with you, when I wake up in the morning, I never thought that I'm going to work. I had a mission every single day to accomplish. So when I'm going there, I'm going to accomplish something. And I'm driven by accomplishment. The more I make and the more I do, I feel more satisfied. So when I, let's say, have a bad day or have things not going well, there's two things that really get me out of it quick. I go to the gym. All my frustration, my blood flow, my energy changes.
Every day.
Just change. Especially when I have a bad day. I make sure I'm going to the gym that day because I do not want to take that bad energy to my house. I want to leave it outside. So that's what I do. And then I remember and I say, okay, that's the past and I cannot do anything about the past. The past is history. Let me focus on the future, focus on now, focus on tomorrow. Yes, I had a bad day today. Things didn't go well. Things didn't go as I planned. But what about tomorrow? Here's what I have tomorrow. I have this to accomplish. And I have this to see, and I have people waiting for me, and I have a meeting, and I have to inspire people. How is it I'm going to inspire others where I need to be inspired myself? So I have to be happy and be inspired, because if I'm not, and if I'm doing a fake smile, my people will see it, and they will know. and they will know I'm fake. And there's nothing in this life will get to people.
They don't trust you.
They don't trust me, exactly. They have to see that I'm authentic enough, that I'm real. And that's why when I sit with people, they listen to me because things that I'm saying is not fake, it's real. God has gave me this experience in life. And there's a reason why I have this experience, I think, to transfer it and to become stronger. You're not going to become a good person or a strong person if you do not go through failures. That's why I say all the time, embrace failures.
Adam, who do you consider your greatest mentors or role models in business?
My father.
Oh, okay,
My father is my inspiration. And I tell you what, every time I do something, most of the time I remember him. Because I worked with him when I was young. And I think I had that since I was young. I take things serious. And when I want to learn something, I really either want to learn it or I wouldn't even do it. I wouldn't even touch it. I wouldn't come close to it. So I remember my father when we used to work in a bakery in the kitchen. I remember I have flashback of almost everything and the things he says. So as I grew, being in the 30s and the 40s, his voice always in my head because I worked with him and he was tough. He wasn't easy. And he's not the guy where when I start working with him, he's the guy who told me, okay, go ahead and wash dishes. That's where you start. Doesn't matter. It's your father's store or kitchen. You start in the kitchen, you start washing dishes, then you work your way up. And I worked my way up. I've done from starting in cleaning after our own employees to basically going to, we had division in the factory. We have a cookie division where they make cookies only, cake, birthday cake, wedding cake, all separate, catering separate. And then he moved me from one place to another, cross-training, to know all of the operation, ice cream section. So I learned a lot from him. And I always wanted to be, when I was working with him, I always want to be a business owner. I knew. That's why I said I traveled to US. I had nothing but an ambition. I'm going to be a business owner. And I know I will be. And that's why I say when you manifest something and you work hard for it, and I can tell you almost everything in my life I have manifested. Even to who I am today, who I look. I just ran across a picture 3 days ago. And the picture was taken on my phone back in 2019. It was a man in the 40 or 50, I think, that has a really nice lean body. I took a picture of it in 2019, and I said, this is when I get in the 40, because I was 41 back then. And I was 40, I think, or 41. I said, when I get in the 40s, I want to look like this man. I just ran across the picture, and I can tell you I look and I feel better than any other age now because I'm going to the gym a lot more than before. I watch my food a lot more than before, and I watch my health a lot more than before. I want to look healthy. I want to look good. You have to take care of yourself. If you cannot take care of yourself, you cannot take care of others.
Yeah.
So it's not
about you selfish.
Yeah, it's not being selfish. That's what I want to say. If I wake up in the morning and I spend time to take care of myself and take care of myself first, that's not selfish. That's the opposite. That's thinking about others. Because for others to be healthy around me, for me to help you or help any other person, I have to be feeling good and looking good. Imagine don't look good or not wearing good clothes, whatever the case may be, people not going to take me serious. If I'm going to tell you don't eat this and I look this big, how is it you're going to take me? If I'm going to tell you no, do this in business and I'm a failure and I don't have money, you're just not going to believe me. So you have to have it to give it. You cannot give something you don't have.
Yeah. So thank you for your sincerity.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Next question. We know you are coming to Kazakhstan soon again.
Yes,
Yeah.
again and again. It won't be the second time or the third time. I love the place. I do. I love the culture. I love the people. Very nice, very authentic. I noticed yesterday at the restaurant that they really serve from the heart. I mean, I can see it. I'm in sales. I can sense.
You feel it.
I can sense people. So when I walk in the place and I see the smile, I see the way how they look at you, I see the respect. For example, the lady yesterday, she came when I changed my place and I want to sit on the other side of the table and I want to help her. I'm like, just give me the chair. She's like, no, I want to do it. And then even when she got closer to the table and I want to take it from her, she refused. And she's doing it with being pleasant. Look, that's in most countries does not exist anymore. Being authentic and being nice and I'm going to the restaurant to have fun, to sit down. And I have noticed too, the way how people sitting down, they sitting down and eating to enjoy their time. That doesn't work in the US. They there to eat, speak a little bit and get out. And if you don't get out, the waiter and the manager of the restaurant looking at you, when are you getting out? So I've noticed that, and people at the hotel came to the hotel, from the receptionist to the doorman to the bellboy, really nice people. And that's, again, I'm all about people. That's really important to me. And the reason why I'm coming back again, I have friends from this region in U.S., including you.
Thank you.
And I was asked to do a workshop, and I get calls too from my friends in Azerbaijan, for example. And he talked. That's why I sent you the map yesterday, and I told you my plan is flying to this region. Is based on inspiration and based on request, and that's why I'm coming back again.
Very nice. Yeah. Could you share a little about the audience can expect from the event?
Okay. So the workshop going to be for mainly, let's say, people who like to work on their self-development or business owner who like to open a business in the UAE or US. For someone who wants to hear an advice on the American way of doing business because it's different and that's why they are successful in many ways. Another thing we were talking about, as you know, I told you about that, being an investor myself, and I have a group of investors, I invested before in startup, and that's what we want to do. The goal is if I find the right idea and someone who has a great idea to invest, we will be picking somebody to invest in that startup. So whether you have money, you don't have money, whether you want to scale a business or you want to build a business or know about business, I'll be going over how to build a business, how to build a network, how to scale the business, how to open a business in Dubai, how to open a business in the US, what are the fundamental of doing a business, what is the American way of doing business, what set US apart from all of the other world, why is it their method is successful, there's a reason why. So I'll be going over all of that. So mainly interacting, and one thing I want to do, I've done it in the US before, Q&A, question and answer. I like to interact with people. So when you interact, and I interact a lot based on each person's scenario, so they can find value of being there. I don't want people just to come in. People who's going to attend, they will walk out with a lot of knowledge and skills that they can apply immediately. And my method and my skills have been shaped, tested, tried. It's not a book I'm reading back to them. It's something that have been done, tried, failed, succeeded. There's a huge difference between someone who's trying to teach you something and only has a book or a notebook and read it, and someone don't even need a notebook. Yeah, I told you, we were talking yesterday, I said to you, I don't prepare anything. I when I prepare, I don't know what to say. All of the stuff comes out just natural from my life experience, from what I had in the past. Real stuff. So when I sit down with people or someone who's really have an issue in their business, I know the answer because I've been there. It's really, really rare for me to not have an answer. And if I don't, I guarantee you I'm going home or I'm going to my office, I'm spending hours to know. And this is how I build my knowledge, is reading. I want to know. It's never enough. Knowledge, never enough. And if you think at one point in your life that I have all of the knowledge, you have nothing. We all learn, and I still watch people and I want to learn. By the way, last night I didn't sleep until, 4:30 in the morning. This morning.
We too.
I couldn't sleep, or I ate a lot. That's number one. I ate late, and I couldn't sleep. What is it I'm doing? I'm reading. So I slept around 4:45 a.m. I woke up for the prayer around 6:15.
You pray?
Yeah, I prayed, and then I went back to sleep for about an hour and a half. Then I went to breakfast, went to the gym, took a shower, and I came here.
Oh, very nice and intensive. Did you meet before Kazakh entrepreneurs, and do you have some business or projects with Kazakh entrepreneurs?
Back in the U.S., so I know people from Kazakhstan and Dubai, but not close relationship, just hello, how are you? But back in the US, I dealt with few people. They were shipping cars to Russia, to Ukraine, to Azerbaijan, to Baku. I've been to Baku a few times. We used to export a lot of cars to Baku. But recently, no. And I have done good business with them, and I know they're good business people. And that's why I said I'm more interested in this region. And I know that people want to work. They authentic again, and there's I can tell you, I go and eat at bakery in Dubai, which is owned by a Pakistani person. Very successful model, very busy.
Sorry, Pakistan or Kazakhstan?
Pakistan. He is, I don't know, from Kax, basically. It's called Bakery, BKRY. Very successful place. And I know there's a lot of people from this region too that they are investors and they own properties in Dubai.
And what key topics or practical advice you plan to cover during the workshop?
You can add something to it. So the key topic that I'll be going over key topic that I will be going over is going over obstacles, how to look at obstacles as an opportunity. I can tell you I built a multi-million-dollar business and built an empire. I built a multi-million-dollar business and formed an empire based on overcoming obstacles. And one of the things we discussed yesterday is I take risk, and I take the business that everybody looks at it as don't touch it, don't do it. That's a good business to do. Most people, what they do, they see, okay, you have a restaurant and it's working. They want to do the same like you. And then you have like 10 restaurants on the same block. Or you have any kind of business. It could be marketing. They want to do like you. Don't be like others. I want to go over one of the main things is it's okay to be different, and don't look for what everybody's looking for.
Never.
There's many businesses out there that people do not consider as a business, not as popular, and you can make more money. So I want to go over that. We'll be going over how to scale a business, how to build a business from the ground up, how to be a leader and become a leader and build a team. What is the key and fundamental key points, how to become a leader? It's very easy to be a manager, but not a leader.
Yeah.
A leader has different skills. How can you become a leader to build that great team to be able to scale your business?
Yes, I understand it. And I remember that when I start my business, everybody say, no, it's impossible. You can't do this. Nobody buy your services. Yeah.
It's funny how people say that. You have no idea how many times I heard that. Not just to me, how many times I heard it, like two people are talking and one person throwing an idea and the person next to him killing it. And here's the ironic part. That's the person who's advising the other person never owned a business in their life and don't know anything about business, and they are not successful, and they are failure, and they fail all the time, and they still giving an advice to people. I've seen it many times. Even when I got my second dealership, now I remembered, I took somebody to see it. I had a visitor, a friend with his wife. And he asked me, what are you doing? What's going on? I said, hey, I just signed a contract for a second location. You want to get in the car? He's in the car business too. You want to get in the car and I'll show it to you. We get in the car. We go to the location. He looks at it. He's like, oh, no, Adam, I don't think this is going to work. You know, the location, it's uphill. You got trees in the back. The office, I still remember, the office too small. Yeah, it's not a good idea. If you can cancel the contract, go ahead and cancel it. I can tell you this. I made so much money, and it was one of the most successful business I owned. If I have listened to this guy, I probably wouldn't been here today.
So if nobody believe you, it's good.
No,
It's good.
they don't have to believe you. Nobody knows what's going on in your mind. That's another thing. What do you see? What God created? God gave you a vision. God, when you started something or you want to do something, God has given you a vision, have given you dimensional things to see. Okay? I could be delusional, but that's the reality. If you tell me the story, I see it as just something you're telling me. Then I'm going to walk out of here and it's gone. You have seen it. You have manifested. And you can follow it. Other people don't. Is it gonna, you're gonna be a winner? Maybe not.
Yeah.
But maybe you're gonna lose and become a winner later. So you better take it. But maybe yes. Maybe if you take that opportunity, it will be the best opportunity that you have done in your life. So take it.
What are the 3 takeaways you want the listeners to get from this podcast?
Top things. I think we covered many topics. The top things I want to say are, let's see, the top 3 things is believe in yourself, number 1, because it starts within you. Take care of yourself. Any other things I want to talk about, if you're not there, it's not there. So number 1, believe in yourself and believe in the goal that you want to do and chase it and never stop. I said I had nothing but the ambition and I chased it for years. Even after 3 years in the US, I thought I'm a complete disaster and a failure because I have failed almost everything I've done. So it will take a while. Keep chasing it. Believe in yourself. Number 2, when you start being successful and you want to own a business, believe in the client and the customer. That no matter what you do, no matter what you sell, B2B, B2C, it doesn't matter what you are doing. We are human and the end user is a human.
Yeah.
Think about the client and think how you can solve a problem for that client. Number 3,
maybe about your family.
Number 3, that's what I was going to say. Number 3, be grateful. Be grateful to God, to your relationship with God, your relationship with family. Because we go back to number 1 and number 2, you have a successful business. You're doing great. You're doing good. You have money, but you're cheap. You don't spend money on your family. You don't see your kids. You have no relationship with God. Your life worth nothing. So your life worth nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. If you have money and you have everything,
Yeah.
but you have no relationship. Look, I had it before where I was successful. I just remembered before I get married. I think I was 26. I had a good job. I was making very good money. And I went from the lifestyle of going out and doing things and going with the friends. It got tired in the mid-20s. I still remember I used to walk in the house and open the door and just look around me. And I'm like, I want someone in my life. What's all of this? I have nice cars and nice this and nice this. Who am I? I'm sharing it with nobody.
Yeah.
And the people who used to ride with me, they used to ride with me because I had money and I had a nice car, not because they like me.
Yeah.
But you don't realize that. You think they are friends. They're not friends.
Yeah.
So when you have that and you have the good relationship with God, the Lord, whoever your creator, whoever you believe in, you have to have some kind of beliefs in your life. Beliefs and relationship with God, it makes you intact. It keeps you checked all the time if you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. If you're doing the wrong thing, you start adjusting automatically because you have that kind of relationship. Same thing, relationship with the family. I don't want to do it because of my wife. I don't want to do it because I have kids. I shouldn't do it. I should spend my time, instead of being with my friend all day, every day, I should be with my kids. My kids deserve me to be with them.
Thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
guys, who is not married, you must marry.
Not just married. If you're not, not marriage. Look, marriage is a very difficult relationship, and I think you can relate to that.
Big job.
It's a big job. It's a very difficult. It's not easy. I'm not trying to scare people. I tell them all the time, marriage is the hardest relationship, the hardest thing that you can make survive. But it required the effort. When one of the party give up on the other person, and if you don't put efforts in anything, in the plant, if you don't water the plant on a daily basis, it's going to die. You cannot put a plant unless if it's fake in the corner and expect it to be just a beautiful plant and you're not adding water to it. You really have to take care of the person. Car, you have to change the oil, you have to wash it. So what makes you think, if you have a husband or a wife, or a wife looking at the husband or a husband looking at the wife, and they're not taking care of each other? Yeah, they took care of each other back in the days when they were in high school and college, and maybe when they were engaged, and then they give up on each other. I don't take care of you. You don't take care of me. I don't care. You don't care. I sleep in a different bedroom. You sleep in different. What kind of relationship is that? I walked in houses in the U.S. I walked in a house. We were invited to a house. And the guy showing me his house. He goes, this is my bedroom. And then he goes to another bedroom. This is my wife's bedroom. I kid you not. I said to him, and I know the guy, all of us know they have kids and they together. I said, what do you mean? He said, yeah, we don't sleep in the same room for the past 4 years. We're just together. We share in the house. It's more
comfortable.
Yeah, they like roommate.
Yeah, like roommate, yeah.
I mean, is that a healthy relationship? And then you fake it in front of people. My wife, hey, honey, come here.
Is he successful or no?
Normal person. I mean, I don't remember a success, but normal. But you never know what's on the inside.
Maybe it's not about
Look,
success.
I don't know what happened to them now, but I can tell you things like this does not last. It does not last. At one point or another, he's going to say, especially if the kids were younger, kids got older, went to college, went to high school. Why are they living together? They probably living together for the kids. I get it, but it's not a healthy relationship. It's not. People rush into marriage or rush into relationship or not knowing the person, giving up on the person. This is a great topic to talk about, maybe another podcast, by the way, relationship.
For next podcast. Yeah, inshallah. And Adam, we have a present for you.
Okay.
It's our national wear. Its name is Shapan, and I want
Shapan?
present you now.
All
okay.
Right. Wow. So now it looks like real cucks, right?
Yeah. You looks like a
And now
king.
welcome to my podcast. I should say Rahmat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Rahmat.
So
Nice. Thank you. So to close off this podcast, what I want to say, do not miss this workshop. It's going to have a lot of information for you, tons of information that will be really valuable for you, and you can apply right away after the workshop. I'll teach you the American way of doing business. There's many things and many surprises we will have. We will have tons of Q&A, and I'll be doing one-on-one with a lot of people to help them to cultivate a way on how to become a successful entrepreneur.
Adam, thank you so much for this podcast, for your visit in our country. I hope you like Kazakhstan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You come again to Kazakhstan. Welcome. Every time welcome. And I hope you find in Kazakhstan a lot of partners in business. Yeah.
We will, inshallah. And thank you for having me. And we'll do it again. Thank you.
Достар, осымен біздің подкастымыз аяқталуда. Адам мырзаға көп рахмет. Біздің елімізге қош келдіңіз. Тағы да күтеміз. Және де біздің воркшоп кешімізге сізді шақырамын барлығыңызды. Өте пайдалы кеңестер ала аласыз. Бизнесті ұлғайтуға, ақш және біріккен Араб Эмират ұлттарына бизнестеріңізді кеңейту үшін осы воркшопқа келуіңізді ұсынамын. Көп рахмет. Достар, сау болыңыз.
Thank you.
Бай-бай.
Bye.